Okay, today is September the 24th, 2017. It's a Sunday. I'm going to do a kind of a overview of my of the two different design tractors separated by about 11 years. The BX2230 on your left, I bought brand new November 12th of 2005, and just yesterday on the 23rd of September, I bought the Kubota BX2380 you see on your right. So I'm just going to kind of give my impressions of the BX2230 after having used it for 11 years, and then just the differences that they've made in those years. Obviously the BX2230 is a 22 horse diesel. The BX2380 is a 23 horse diesel. A view from the rear of both tractors. The BX2230, the older one, is on the right. The BX2380, the new one, is on the left. Okay, so let's look at the hood designs. This is the BX2230, the old one. Now this is the BX2380, the new designed hood. So the hood of the BX2230 opens up like that, and it splits right here. Doesn't open all the way. Whereas the 2380 has a different, you have to pull up and go forward, and the whole thing pops up, the whole hood, which I really like. It also has a shock on it. This just gives you better access to the engine. If you have to do any maintenance. But the 2230, you can take this whole front off. All you've got to do is pull these two bolts, and the whole thing slides off. And it's got little tabs that go into the side. And you got to take these two bolts off too, here and here. So 4 bolts, the whole thing does slide off, and the hood would stay on. This shroud just slides off independent of the hood. While we've got the hoods open, the BX2230 has a Kubota D902 3-cylinder diesel. It has 54.8 cubic inches or 0.9 liters. And the BX2380 also has a D902 Kubota engine. It's also a 3-cylinder, and it has 54.8 cubic inches or 0.9 liters. The BX2230 engine compartment. The BX2380 engine compartment. The wheelbase of the BX2230 is 55.1 inches, and the unit weighs 1,290 pounds. Okay, the wheelbase of the BX2380 is also 55.1 inches, but the weight is 1,443 pounds. Okay, so the fuel tank capacity of the BX2230 is 5.5 gallons. Here you'll see it under the seat, and then of course you see the filler cap over here. But 5.5 gallons. The fuel tank capacity of the BX2380 is 6.6 gallons. It is under the seat, under this, it's under the seat as in the 2230, and the filler cap is over there. So 6.6 gallons. So they've added 1.1 gallons, which is kind of nice. I've never had a problem. I've got 3.99 acres, and I've never had a problem. I can do all of it and still have plenty left over. So, but it's always good to have as much fuel as that you can carry. So next we're going to take a look at the moor decks. This is the 2230 model with the 60-inch moor deck. It is a model RCK60B-22BX. Now this rubber flap that you see, I added that just to give a little bit more downward force of the grass that was coming out. So that's just something I added. And this is the moor deck of the 2380. It is also an RCK60B-23BX. Just from looking at them, they look damn near the same. There are a little bit of differences as far as how the guards and stuff are, but I would venture to say it's probably pretty much the same deck overall. Now this is the 2230, the older version, and one thing I want to show you is the difference in the chute that they have. This one is made out of steel, and as you can see, it's substantial. Okay, it's all steel. And here's the rubber that I added. All it is mud flap that I kind of cut, put on, and then used all stainless fasteners. And it just helped direct the flow of the grass a little bit more downward instead of out too far, especially on windy days. Then I took the spring off. I didn't like the damn spring that was on here. Put a little bolt in here with just a little end for a chair rail or a chair leg rubber. So now when I put that up, it sets right on there. Now this is the chute of the 2380, and sadly, and I say sadly because I really wish it was made with steel, but it's all plastic. So maybe not surprised. Okay, now here's the belt guard cover to the 2230, and it is steel. And it just clips on. Pull that forward. That clips in here. But that's all steel. Now, I always take these off. I've left this off since I've got it pretty much because dirt stuff gets in there and I want to clean it out. I'm the only guy driving it. And obviously if you had a lot of people driving it, you'd want to keep it on there for their safety. But I'm always cautious. I always take them off. Because dirt gets in here, I like to blow the unit off, especially if you're cutting grass when it's damp. I don't want all that to congregate. So here we see the belt guard on the 2380. It is plastic. It's got a little knob here you loosen up to take it off. Here's the other side of that belt guard on the 2380. And as with my older unit, the 2230, these belt guards will be coming off and staying off so that way I can keep this area clean and not have grass catching there. And I just think it's foolish for myself to have to take that off all the time when I'm done. Okay, now these are the wheels on the 2230 moor deck. And again, these are 11 years old. And they really haven't changed much on the new one, but there is one nice feature that I really like in the new one that's not on the old. So here's the wheels of the new unit moor deck, the 2380. But the nice thing I really like is this grease zerk. Now, I've never had a problem with the old one, but anytime you can put grease fittings on something with rotation or any movement over that, you know, then even though these don't travel on the ground, they're going to hit the ground over time. So greasing things works. I had a it was either a 78 or 79 Blazer 4-wheel drive, and everything you could grease on it but one item, the pitman arm. And I had damn near 190,000 miles before I sold it to a buddy of mine. And the only front end part that I had to replace was the pitman arm, which you couldn't grease. So that does tell you something. So I like to see that. That's very nice. Okay, the tires on the 2230 are turf tires, and this is the rear tire. It is a 26 by 12.0-12 size tire. Okay, this is the rear tire of the 2380, the new unit, and all of them on here are also turf tires, and it is a 26 by 12 tire. Now, one thing to note is these two studs on there. So these have bolts that go through like you normally would on a tire, and I think this is for manufacturing purposes. So when they put the tire on, I guess during assembly, they can put it on with the two studs to hold the tire on as it's going down the line. That's what I'm assuming. Don't know that for a fact, but this is interesting. So these have the two studs, put the tire on, put the nuts on, and it would maintain the tire as it's going down the line, is what I'm assuming. Okay, this is the front tire of the 2230, and it is an 18 by 8.5-8 size tire. Okay, this is the front tire of the 2380. It is 18 by 8.5-10. Okay, again, the older unit, the 2230, is on your right. The newer 2380 is on your left. So the 2230, the height with the ROPS row bar there is 70.9 inches. The 2380, the height with the ROPS bar is 83.1 inches. And I wish that was a little lower, because I have to lower it to go in my garage. I'm just afraid it's gonna so damn close to the top molding of the weather seal molding, so I just lower it down. I wish that was a bit lower. Now the tractor width on the 2230 on your right is 45.1 inches, as is the 2380. It also is 45.1 inches on your left. So the older version tractor, the 2230, they're on your right. The tractor length is 77.8 inches. The newer on the left, the 2380, is 95.5 inches. So the 2380, the newer one, is 17.7 inches longer than the 2230. So this is the seat on the 2230. Nothing special. It just slides back and forth with the use of that lever. But again, there's nothing special about the seat, just your standard regular seat. Now on the other hand, the seat of the 2380, the new unit, it is pretty badass. It's got two armrests. They go up completely out of your way. And of course it slides back and forth as would be expected. But what's really cool about this seat is that it reclines. I actually have to take the triangle, the slow moving triangle, off to get this to go all the way back. That's how far back this thing reclines. Unbelievable. Hell, I'm going to fall asleep cutting grass. And it goes down this low, actually till the seats touch. Okay, now this is the slow moving vehicle sign on the 2230. And I actually like this way better than the new one. So this is the old one. And I like it because it's ribbed. It's actually a heavier, and for some reason this bracket on it, this fits better in the new one. So I think I'm going to just switch this out. I think I'm going to switch out the old one and put that on my new one. Here's the slow moving triangle on the new unit, the 2380. and it doesn't fit as nice in here. It's a little harder. It doesn't go all the way down like the older unit. It doesn't go all the way down in the bracket, even though the brackets appear to be the same. And if you look at this, it's highly flexible. I don't know, it's just, I mean, it's a slow-moving vehicle sign, but I like the older one better, and I think I'm going to, like, as I said, this is going to go on the old one when I sell it, and I'm going to put the old one on my new tractor. So this is the manufacturer of the old unit. That's the tag that's on the slow-moving vehicle sign. And this is the manufacturer or source of the new slow-moving vehicle sign. Here are the rear turn signals and hazard flashers on the 2230. And here's the turn signals and hazard flashers on the 2380. I really like the new ones here. I like that design. I like the fact that they're closer into the unit, whereas on the 2230 they stuck out. So I like this design much better. Here you see the red rear tail light on the 2230. And here's the red rear tail light of the 2380. I like this because it wraps around the side of the unit. Now, something that I don't have on the 2230 is I did buy this quick attach implement device by Land Pride, and it'll make attaching, like my snow blade, so much easier. Pull that back. Set your unit in here on both sides, at the top and then down here, and then pull this forward and it locks it in. Now, something else that I did not have on the 2230, which I did have put on and with the 2380 from the factory, was the hydraulic hose setup, the hydraulic system. That way, if I want to get any front implements, this is their new attachment unit. From what I can see, everything sits in here on one block and then it locks down on this pin. So, because I want to get a bucket for the front, and the new design buckets, you can take the buckets off and have other attachments to that. And so also I've got the control lever for that. This is the lock for it. So now you can move it around. So if you do have something attached, you can lock it in position by using this knob. Okay, we're going to start up the 2230. You've got to have it in neutral or it will not start. Now we're going to start up the 2380. Now the curious thing about the 2380 is you can start it in gear. So I've got it in the high range. So it once it starts, it could move. So here's your foot controls, forward and reverse, push down on the back. Now this is on the 2230, the old unit. Then this would be your brake. Now your foot controls on the new version, the 2380, doesn't have, I like this, I never had a problem with the old one, but I really like this on the new one, because here's forward, and then you push back here, reverse. But what I like is you don't have that big pivot here. So you've got movement of, for your foot in that. You don't have anything in the way like the old unit. And then your brake is back there. So this is the dash of the BX2230, the older unit. Not a whole lot going on. I'll turn the key here. does have your oil, battery, and then it's also got the light for your pre-warm. So this unit has 451 hours on it. And this one's going to be going up for sale. I'm going to be selling this. I want to do this review before I sell it. So, and another thing too, with 451 hours, if you've noticed how nice this thing looks, I take damn good care of my equipment, and I'm very proud of that. So I think it looks in very, very good shape for its age and years. So these switches, if I've got a complaint on this tractor, it's going to be these damn switches. I've gone through so many switches. Finally, what I've done is I've taken the switches apart and put dielectric grease in them in an effort. And I don't know why, even when you use a garden hose, if these things get wet, they would just start, the lights would, like your hazard flashers, they would just, you'd come out and they'd be flashing for no reason. So hopefully they've got that taken care of in the new unit. Of course, it's a different design, but like I said, with this one, that was my biggest issue with these, was that problem. Other than that, the tractor's been very, very faithful. So here we see the hazards on the 2230. So this is the dash of the 2380. A whole lot different than the old unit. Now I'm going to take and turn the key on here a second, so you can see how the gauge is when you just turn it on. And I'm going to have a clip here that'll show the gauges at night. It's pretty cool. So here's the light switch system. Your left and your right turn signals. Push it down for hazard flasher. And then this is your headlights on. This is off. Something else up on the dash this has, which is interesting, is kind of like a cruise control, I guess. Push that down and you can lock the pedal wherever you want it. Don't think I'll ever use that. Don't see a need for it myself. Here we see the hazards of the 2380. So here's the protective screen, the guard that is around the battery on the 2230. Now I always take those off and I leave them off. That way dust and dirt gets in there. When I'm done, I like to take my blower and blow that area out all the time. So I see no need to keep that cover on there. I leave it off, and I'm going to do the same with the new one. Okay, this is the shroud, the guard cover around the battery on the 2380. And it will be coming off just like I left it off in the 2230. Again, for dirt and dust gets in there, and I just assume keep it clean all the time, so I just take it off, leave it off. It's easier for me to do that than to pull it apart all the time. So here's the seat, the back side of the 2230. Nothing locks it down. You can just, it moves without any locks of any type. You can just pick it up. Your gas tank is down below. So here's the back side of the seat on the 2380. On the 2380, the seat doesn't move. You've got to release this little latch, which I kind of like. And it's a heavy seat, a whole hell of a lot heavier than the older version 2230. And of course we've got the gas tank underneath there too, just like as in the other unit. On the 2380, the new unit, where the cup goes, the old unit inside, they have a 12-volt plug, which is really nice. I like that.